the Ryan Backshot?
Hi everyone! If you had told me a year ago that I'd be making a Ryan guide this soon, I would not have believed you, but his awakening made him so fun to play. Ryan is a powerful tank with amazing sustain, support capabilities, and a transformation mechanic that can make him invincible. Unlocking his classes will grant you account-wide vitality and back attack damage boosts. The latter is especially useful in late-game dungeons. Being an MP character, Ryan has 4 jobs and a lot of shared skills. My favorite class combination is Viken and Vanquisher, but I will sometimes use Druid and Vanquisher if I need more sustain, so let's talk about his jobs. But first, make sure to do your big one by liking this video and subscribing if you haven't already. Also, remember that everything said is my opinion, so please feel free to leave your suggestions and tips for playing Ryan below. Druid is the most dynamic of Ryan's classes, boasting a massive skill tree with tons of damage skills and some support abilities, but I tend to only use a few skills. I unlock everything on his normal skill tab since these expand his combo, dash attack, jump attack, and so on. He has a quote-unquote stomp for quickly descending during a jump. Panther's swiftness is a particularly useful mobility buff that you should remember to use as much as possible when playing Druid. In terms of first job skills, I like to take sustaining abilities. Leeching Slime recovers 10% HP for each hit, so this is always my MP1 ability. It is also able to hit more times on larger enemies, so this is great for dungeons like Void. I'm not a big fan of Druid's 2 MP abilities, but I do like the delay of Big Axe Destruction. Druid's 3 MP skills are situational. If I want to survive in a dungeon, Bloody Funeral is my go-to for the HP drain. When supporting, I take Resurrection level 2 to revive allies. Make sure to use it immediately after a teammate revives to keep the revives going. Hammering Crusher is amazing for DPS, and it has a wide range, so this is a nice damaging skill. Heaven's Guardian is most useful when fighting massive enemies such as Burkas that will be hit by several of the fireballs. However, the fireball explosions are very powerful, so this skill can be useful in rooms with dispersed mobs. Druid also introduces Ryan's first transformation, Wolf. By the way, all transformation skills can be toggled by pressing space. Wolf transformation gives Ryan a 20% attack buff, but his defense is decreased by 20%. Allies also receive a 7% attack buff. If you love Sonic the Hedgehog, you'll love Wolf because he has a jump spin attack that does tons of hits to large enemies. This spin attack can also be activated after a double, critical, or dash attack. Mobility is another of Wolf's strengths, and he can even phase through enemies with his dash. If you go fast enough, he can even turn invisible. He also has a quick diagonal descent attack that does damage around him. Wolf has 2 special abilities. Rolling Attack has a nice delay, but it is easy to miss enemies, so I like to use this in Wizard Labyrinth 30. Berserker is also prone to missing, but when it hits, the DPS and AoE is very nice. Sentinel is the most mobile of Ryan's classes, and he is perhaps the character with the easiest time stepping since his dash pulls him towards the ground. His kit is straightforward with a quick combo that can be chained into other moves like his dash attack. My favorite ability of his is the Spiral Dive that can deal lots of damage to tall enemies. His skills are also pretty tame. Backspin Slash is a basic combo attack. Soul Impact is an AoE skill similar to Dark Anmon's attack that deals several hits before launching small enemies. Spinning Phantom has awesome DPS and it can be used for repositioning. His 4MP, Flying Divide, is another great repositioning skill that does damage near the point of impact, specifically above Ryan. With Sentinel, we also unlock our second transformation, Nephilim. This tanky transformation gives Ryan a 50% defense buff and a 25% defense buff to his team. Nephilim is not nearly as agile as Wolf, but he hits hard. His dash is still quick, but his movement is more stiff compared to Ryan's other forms. You can really feel the weight of his combos as he staggers small enemies with his meaty fists. His super armor also makes Nephilim harder to crowd control. In terms of aerial abilities, he can throw up to 2 orbs while falling, which do decent damage, and he has a quick descent attack. Nature Punish is his only skill, but it hits hard and has a long animation, so it is a nice option for damage and delay. Next, we have one of my favorite classes, Viken. His attacks flow so effortlessly, and I love using his spinning scythe attacks. Viken can pull mobs closer to set up aerial combos, and his upper jump attack helps reach mobs. This jump attack can also be chained into a spin. He has a backwards dash attack called Nature Tamer that can stagger small mobs, but I don't use it much. What I do use a lot is Nature Frenzy, his 1 MP that hits hard, especially on bigger enemies, and has a very nice delay. I'm not a big fan of Wild Justice, but it has 2 strong hits and great delay. Crow Whip, however, has a powerful initial hit that pushes mobs back, followed by a nice flurry of damage. The main reason I take Viken is his 4 MP, Spiraling Rage. Not only is this skill's vertical hitbox massive, it goes across the entire map, making it one of his best skills for melting giant bosses. Viken doesn't give us a new transformation, but he is able to use all previous transformations. Finally, let's talk about Ryan's best class, Vanquisher. Similar to Amy, Ryan's 4th job changes stances between the Storm Blades and the Storm Pike. Vanquisher's stances aren't anything spectacular on their own. Both offer a quick, simple combo, and he also has a backward dash attack called Mock Blow. His skills are where he really shines. Gatling Spiral is one of my favorite skills in the game. As long as you have MP, you can mash Z to prolong this skill. I cannot tell you how many times this skill has saved a Void Nightmare run. Fatal Drive and Flash Impact are great for repositioning. And Furious Boomerang is a strong, ranged DPS skill. As far as 3 MP skills, Power Strike is strong, but I prefer Genocide Lancer. The 3 Lance Strikes pierce enemies and stagger small mobs to set them up for a powerful explosion. Just be careful, the final hit is easy to miss. Furious Storm is Vanquisher's 4 MP, and I equipped this based on the situation. If placed correctly, this skill can clear rooms while drawing in small enemies. Vanquisher gives us perhaps the most broken power in the game, the Magnus transformation.
Are you chicken?
Magnus is the reason I always keep Vanquisher on Ryan. This transformation gives Ryan a 5% crit chance buff and a 1.5% crit chance buff to the party. Magnus is a permanent transformation, but I would suggest canceling the transformation once the crit buff runs out to reapply it. He has a very fast combo with a massive hitbox that restores tons of MP, and he can also use Mock Blow. Using this combo on mobs can restore your entire MP bar almost instantly. His skills are also amazing. Turning Breaker has good delay, Binding Cross is amazing for DPS and has long horizontal range, and Lord of Valhalla has awesome DPS with a large hitbox. Keep in mind that Lord of Valhalla is easy to miss if you don't aim carefully. However, my favorite characteristic of Magnus Dan is that he is invincible. His hyper armor prevents all CC and knockdown damage that would kill characters in Fatal. Just remember that he can be counterattacked while charging a skill. Otherwise, have fun never dying and cheesing dungeons like TOD. Ryan has enough skill points to unlock every shared skill, so let's go over them. Nature's Shield is a 4-second invulnerability that you should not forget to use whenever needed. It is a lifesaver in many situations. If you are unable to use Nature's Shield for any reason, at least make sure you have activated Tenacious Vitality for a 50% chance to revive if you are killed. Ryan's most popular shared skill has to be his totems. These help the party in various ways, and there is actually a bug that allows you to use 2 totems at once by selecting a different totem for each equipped job, but I am unable to recreate this, so thank you Bramble for the footage. Wild Roar does decent damage, and it can be used to knock enemies back to set up an aerial skill combo. Charging Axe takes a bit longer to execute, but it can also set up an aerial skill combo since you can charge Z while holding C. One of the best skills on this tab is Stone Wall, which can be used to block certain attacks or to restrict enemy movement. Ryan's Awakening 4MP skill, Violent Typhoon, is a super useful one-hit skill that has a massive hitbox. I love using this ability in TOD to one-shot bosses. His Awakening skill, Wrath of Nature, is a massive lightning storm that Ryan creates by repeatedly striking the ground, ending with one final earth-shattering blow. This skill's range makes it incredible for clearing rooms. Before we wrap up, here are some general tips for playing Ryan. There are 3 ways to end a transformation. Press X, use a 4MP skill, or use the Awakening skill. Don't forget your shared invincibility skill. Use Stone Wall to block or even destroy enemy attacks such as Kamiki's Ice Storm and TOD. Ryan has a lot of knockups. Use these to set up aerial combos with your skills. If positioned correctly, all of Ryan's 4MP skills can be used to clear rooms. Use transformations to buff your allies. When in doubt, use Magnus Dan's invincibility to stay alive forever. And that's all I have to say about Ryan. The sluggish character to absolute beast post-awakening pipeline is insane, and it is also why Ryan is one of my favorite characters now. He is more straightforward than characters like Sin and Lei, but his massive skill tree makes him incredibly versatile and a great asset in all situations. Thank you so much for watching, and again, please comment your tips and opinions below. Also, please let me know if this video was helpful and if it inspired you to try Ryan out. And if this video has angered you to the point of making a badly delivered response video that is entirely too long, please keep it to yourself. But anyway, don't forget to do your big one and like and subscribe. Bye!
Now who said that? Now who said Nephilim is so OP with his raw fist he can me daddy? Who said that? Sino nagsabi?